Well, hello everybody. Greg coming here from Good News for Israel, and we're going to take 5 and Selah. What a wonderful thing to do, is just draw our attention back to the Lord and just spend some time with Him. We're investigating the significance of Bethel or Bethel in the Scriptures, and we've been following the story of Jacob, who encountered God at Bethel for the first time at the age of 77. He was alone, he was afraid, he was running away, he had no possessions, and he slept at Bethel, which was called Luz at the time. And in his dream he encountered the Lord, who confirmed the covenant that God had made with Abram at Bethel on this very spot. So Jacob was so moved that he'd set up a memorial stone, he'd poured oil on it, and he'd made a vow to God. Then he left for Haran in Padam Aram, and there we know the story, married 4 wives, had 11 sons and a daughter, raised a lot of wealth, then returned in a great company back to Canaan, and eventually back to this very spot in Bethel. Picking up the story in Genesis chapter 35 and verse 6. So Jacob came to Luz, that is Bethel, which is in the land of Canaan, which is he and all the people who were with him. And he built an altar there and called the place El Bethel, because the Lord had appeared to him when he fled from the face of his brother. And here Jacob also built an altar. Now, previously we've said that a memorial stone, which he set up the first time, is not an altar. A stone is a stone. An altar is built of usually several stones with the purpose of performing a sacrifice. So here, a wiser, more weathered Jacob is making his own heartfelt commitment to God and acknowledging that God had made him a covenant, or made Abram a covenant, and Isaac, and now himself. He was part of this covenant. And this is something that's far greater than himself. And this was him playing his part in that covenant. He must have realized that he was a part of something much bigger than himself. Have you ever come to realize that God's not just here to bless you? That's not what God exists for. My brother Michael once made a very wise statement to me, and I adopted it into my understanding of the way that God actually is. And this is what he said: life is not about doing my own thing and then asking God to come over and bless me. Rather, God is already doing something in the world which is already blessed, because everything that God does is blessed. And he's actually inviting me to come over and be involved in what he is doing. And if I accept his invitation and join him in it, then I'm automatically coming under his blessing. Can you see that? What a wise saying. So Jacob's initial prayer was, when he was coming through Bethel the first time, if God will be with me and keep me in this way that I am going, can you see that? I am going. If he will give me bread to eat, clothing to put on, so that I come back to my father's house in peace, then the Lord shall be my God, and I will surely give 1/10 to him. That sounds a little bit like, I'm doing this thing, Lord. I'm starting this new venture or business. I'm marrying this non-Christian man. I'm doing this shady deal. I'm only telling a small lie. I'm building my empire over here. I'm buying this lotto ticket. If you will bless me, I will do the great honor of making you my God, and I will give 1/10 to you. Ever said something like that? But now let's look at Jacob returning to Bethel 20 years later, having done 20 years of hard work, being deceived by his uncle, working through very difficult relationships, running for his life, mending past offences, burying all the foreign idols, living in the wrong place in Shechem, having his daughter violated at the time, seeing his sons murder a whole city. By the time Jacob got back to Bethel, he wasn't building a memorial, he was building an altar. And this time he was saying, I want to live my life where you are, Lord. I want to do what you want me to do. I lay my life on the altar, Lord. I don't want you to come and just bless me in what I'm doing. I want to come and do your will on this earth and see your kingdom come. Then I know that I will automatically be blessed. That's actually true worship. When I first come to the Lord, it's all about me. I'll follow you, Jesus, if you bless me. But when I've walked with him a little while, it becomes more like, I want to be where you are, Lord. I want to lay down my life to do whatever you want with me. I'm not my own. I have been bought with a price. So it's best to be doing what the Lord is doing. That's why the scripture says, whoever blesses Israel shall be blessed. What do you think? I remember an old song, Where You're Moving, Lord. I'll sing it. Where you're moving, Lord, that is where I want to be. Where your spirit is setting men free. There is no place that I would rather be than with you, Lord, right here. I just want to be where the Lord's moving and where he's setting people free. That's already blessed. So now on this site on the mountain east of Luz or Bethel, there are two altars, Abram's altar and Jacob's, plus the first memorial stone. Well, that's it for this session of Take 5 and Selah. I trust you have a fantastic day. We'll catch up on our next one. Until then, I pray God bless you and bye for now.